budget reflects people's aspiration, no chance of whitening black money. Jamaat critical on proposed budget for tax burdens on the citizens. Source of income not clear in the budget, tantamount of cheating, says NCP. And bringing inflation down to 7.5% tough, CPD reacts on the budget. Well, good evening, viewers. Those were the headlines. I'm Salim Kadir, and you're watching English Bulletin. We now follow with the details. People's expectations and aspirations have been reflected in the proposed national budget for the fiscal year 2026 and 2027. There was an attempt to bring every person under the budget. Finance and Planning Minister Amir Khusro Mahmood Chaudhry made these comments at a post-budget press conference at Osmani Memorial Auditorium in the capital on Friday afternoon. The Finance Minister highlighted various aspects of the proposed budget, government's priorities and the strategies to tackle the economic challenges. Mentioning that this budget is for the people of all classes, he said that there are plans of decreasing expenditure of business in a bid to keep controlled inflation under control. He stated that the government is trying to govern the country through standing on ethical base, and various projects are being taken with a target to check misuse of money. The Finance Minister on Thursday placed the proposed budget worth Taka 9,38,000 crore, the largest one in the history of the country. Jamaat Islamic has said the proposed national budget is unrealistic, overly ambitious and conducive to looting. The party has expressed their dissatisfaction with the additional tax burdens imposed on the citizens. The party's Secretary General Mia Ghulam Parwar came up with those comments at a press conference at Jamaat Central Office in Moghbazar in Dhaka on Friday afternoon. He said that the biggest weakness of this budget is that it is the largest deficit budget in the country's history. It is also heavily dependent on borrowing, particularly bank loans and foreign loans. This will crowd out private investment, hamper employment generation, and negatively affect the overall economy. BNP-led government has placed the largest ever deficit budget in the history of the country. The source of income is not clear in the proposed budget, which is tantamount of cheating. The Jatiya Nagrik Party (NCP) made such reaction on the proposed budget. Addressing a press conference at capital's Bangla Motor on Friday afternoon, NCP-backed lawmaker and chief of the party's shadow budget committee, Dr. Atiq Mujahid, alleged that the budget is not pro-people. The party has asked for change in the budget, calling it based on manifesto. Achieving 6.5% GDP and bringing inflation down to 7.5% will be tough in the new fiscal year as all indices of the economy remain under pressure. A non-governmental think tank, Center for Policy Dialogue (CPD), on Friday stated this while analyzing the national budget for fiscal year 2026-27. At a program at a hotel in Dhaka, CPD Executive Director Fahmida Khatoon said that the government has unveiled the proposed budget amid multiple economic challenges, including high inflation and energy crisis. She warned that higher government spending could further fuel inflation if it does not translate into productivity gains, employment generation, and increased investment. CPD Distinguished Fellow Mustafizur Rahman said that implementation of the proposed budget will be challenging as it has stood on a weak base. Power, Energy and Mineral Resources Minister Iqbal Hassan Mohammed Tuku has said the first unit of the Rupur nuclear power plant is expected to become operational in November. He made the remarks while speaking to journalists after visiting the headquarters of Power Grid Bangladesh in the capital's Aftabnagar on Friday. The minister said preparations are underway to commission the first unit of the country's maiden nuclear power plant within the targeted time frame. A total of 300 megawatts of power is likely to be added to the national grid if the first unit of the Rupur power plant goes operational in November. Newly appointed Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Dinesh Trivedi, arrived in Dhaka by road today. He, along with his wife, Minal Trivedi, entered Bangladesh through the Petrobol-Benapole border. Trivedi's appointment is an unusual one for India's diplomatic service. He is a former Railways Minister of India and a former Trinamool Congress leader who later joined the BJP. He is fluent in Bangla and has extensive knowledge of West Bengal. Trivedi takes charge at the Indian High Commission in Dhaka at a time when Bangladesh and India are working to improve relations strained in the aftermath of July uprising. Indian Border Security Force BSF tried to push 12 people into Bangladesh through Daulatpur border in Kushtia. In the early hours of Friday, the BSF pushed them into Chor Bilgatwa border of Prakpur Union through Chor Meghna border of Hogolbaria police station under Nodia district of West Bengal. At the time, locals held them and sent them back through the area adjacent to the border pillar with the help of BGP. The people are currently staying at the zero line. The BGP and the locals have taken up positions in the border area. A total of 173 patients left the ATN Medical College Hospital in capital's Mock Bazar as the Directorate General of the Health Services DGHS cancelled the license on Thursday. However, 243 patients remain admitted at various departments of the hospital. Among those, conditions of 69 patients are critical. In addition to that, 15 infants are undergoing treatment at NICU unit. They're being given treatment around the clock with oxygen facility. 13 patients are at ICU and HDU. 6 patients have been kept at the CCU as the condition is critical. While inspecting the hospital, no new patients were seen admitted to the hospital. The services at the outdoor remain shut as well. The DGHS has given 72 hours time to shift the ICU patients to other hospitals. Viewers, we now follow with a short break and we will be back soon with Trump claims deal to end Iran war near. Tehran says nothing finalized. Canada to take on Bosnia in World Cup match in Toronto. Welcome back. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman is scheduled to undertake a day-long official visit to Cox's Bazar tomorrow. During the visit, he will inaugurate the re-excavation work of Patli Khal in MP Colleague Union of Cox's Bazar, Shodar, followed by a public address in the morning. He is also scheduled to visit Daula Hazaria Safari Park in Chukaria, where he will launch a nationwide tree plantation initiative involving the planting of 25 crore trees before touring the facility. The program also includes multiple stops across Cox's Bazar and nearby Upazilas, including Pekua and Chukaria, where he will attend foundation stone laying ceremonies, pay respects at a local gravesite, and meet family members of a victim of the 2024 July uprising. BNP Secretary General and LGRT Minister Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has distributed school bags and educational materials among 6,500 students in Thakurgaon. At a program held at Shahid Muhammad Ali Stadium in Thakurgaon on Friday morning, he said that China is cooperating with Bangladesh for the development of Thakurgaon. Chinese Ambassador Yeo Win was present at the program. Mirza Fakhrul also said there are plans to work jointly with China for the development of Thakurgaon. A Chinese delegation is likely to visit Thakurgaon in the next 1 to 2 years. Viewers, we now begin with news around the world. The US President Donald Trump said he was cancelling planned strikes against Iran as the final points of an agreement between the two sides had been approved. He claimed the peace deal could be finalized and signed this week, potentially at a ceremony in Europe. Despite Trump's pronouncement, Iran's state media quoted the foreign ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghi as saying Iran did not yet reach a final decision on any agreement. He said reports of a deal were merely speculation. Meanwhile, the latest reports by the World Bank showed the ongoing Iran war is projected to slow global economic growth to its weakest pace since the COVID-19 pandemic, and renewed hostilities could cause it to slump further. Hence, global economic growth is forecast at 2.5% this year, down from 2.59% in 2025. Massive protests in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir have intensified, with reports of at least 15 killed after security forces again opened fire on demonstrators in Rawalkot. At least 50 injured in the clashes, and the number of dead is expected to rise. The violence comes after an alliance of activist groups called on people to march to regional capital Muzaffarabad to protest against reservation of legislative seats for refugees who migrated to Pakistan from Indian-administered Kashmir decades ago. Local authorities responded by accusing the group of sedition and violence, banning it and offering bounty for arrest of its leaders.
Meanwhile, a dossier by European Convention of Human Rights documented killed during the crackdown and accuses security protesters.
Former South Korea President Yoon Suk Yeol jailed for 30 more years for sending drones into North Korea. He's already serving life sentence over his failed 2024 martial law bid. The Seoul District Court has sentenced Yeol that imprisonment on Friday, alleging he ordered the operation in October 2024 to provoke Pyongyang and create a pretext for his failed martial law bid later that year. El Nino has officially begun. It is forecast to intensify into a very strong or super El Nino with major shifts in global weather patterns and an even hotter climate. A rapidly developing, potentially historic El Nino is underway, supercharging long-term warming trend and guaranteeing catastrophic weather extremes. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration report highlighted 63% probability that ocean temperatures will cross 2 degrees Celsius anomaly threshold by late 2026, creating highly destructive historic super El Nino. Severe dry heat is striking regions like Australia, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and Amazon, increasing severe wildfire risks and agricultural strain. Well, before ending the bulletin, we have top stories once again. Budget reflects people's aspiration, no chance of whitening black money. Jamaat critical on proposed budget for tax burdens on the citizens. Source of income not clear in the budget, tantamount of cheating, says NCP. Bringing inflation down to 7.5% tough, CPD reacts on the budget. Trump claims deal to end Iran war. Tehran says nothing finalized. Well, that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Until then, see you soon.